So I put some playlists together the other day, and that was when I realised that I've only done 5 animated vids, and they're all leaders or Dinobots. So I'm going to try and make up for lost time a little bit with Lugnut. So before we get going properly, there's something I want to get out of the way. Lugnut is too small. He's supposed to be the massive one, right? Blitzwing's enormous mate, the huge crusher. But he's barely any bigger than Bumblebee. So he's too small, alright? Now let's just appreciate him for what he is. Taken on his own, Lugnut's actually pretty bitchin'. He's beefy and he's also a tiny bit creepy. He doesn't really have a face or like humanoid hands, so he's just not expressive at all, which is kind of menacing. The colour scheme's ace too, kind of like G2 Ramjet, but somehow still tasteful. His articulation isn't that great though, mostly because of his not having much of a head, and his arms are just kind of a bit boring. He's also got this entire red strip on the top here, for the purposes of light piping, but it just doesn't seem to work. It's not painted over or obscured in any way, but you can shine a lamp down it and you'll get nothing out the front. Still, I really like the design. He's the archetypal top-heavy brute, and although he doesn't have much of a face, he still has the staple animated comical huge chin. I'm a big fan of transforming weapons, so this gigantic mace is a proper treat for me. To activate it, you have to stick it in his paw and make him slam it really hard on the ground, which is sweet. But I do have my reservations. There's a lot of material here, and this flap it clips onto and the back just folds against his back. You gotta say, they could have put that to better use, like, making him bigger. You know how I do it. Robot mode first, then transform into alt mode. But there's something in the reverse transformation that rules way too hard for me to leave it out. Did you see that? Check this thing. It's a big bad brutal bomber and no fooling. This mode is Lugnut's trump card. Even though it's kind of cute because of the animated styling, it's still dead scary. It's easily my favourite animated jet mode in that it doesn't have any obvious flaws, and it doesn't really have any subtle ones either. I mean, the headpiece doesn't always sit quite flush, but that's so minor. This thing's a beast. I can see why a lot of people are crossed that the robot mode's so small, but really I don't care. And he's totally worth 20 quid. I got him for Christmas anyway, so